So have you seen Interior Design Hub's new video? I'm really liking the maximalism style that's coming out right now. No, you know, I'm not liking the maximalism look. Oh really? It's too much stuff, it's too much clutter. I just feel like it looks like something from back in the day, and I'm not here for it. I just feel like she hasn't had any videos that like I can appreciate. Like, I like minimalism, but I don't want like stark minimalism. Like, I want something that's like warm and friendly, but still minimalistic. Design styles are really personal, so like if you don't like that style, I'm sure there's a style for you. Actually, let me check what they posted today. Based on what you're telling me, this style's for you. Check out today's video. Okay, well, let's see what she's got today. So today we're going into Japandi design style and everything you need to know about what it is and how to get the look. So what is Japandi? Japandi is Japan meets Scandinavia, and that is, you know, the name is the blend of the two and the style is the blend of the two looks. What I thought was really interesting and what I actually really liked once I like deep dove into this look was how they're both really based on natural elements, simplicity. This is not a maximalist decor. This is for the minimalists or people who like more of a minimalist aesthetic. So what's interesting is this is a relatively new trend. So I believe we started hearing about it probably early last year, and it's really starting to make more waves, more of a splash, whatever analogy you want to use for that. But it's definitely coming into its own come 2022. So I found this interesting quote from a designer, Lena, I think it's Lena or Lena, could be Lena, from Ward 5 Design. And I thought it was a really interesting way of describing this look. So her quote is, Japandi design is the combination of Scandinavian functionality and the Japanese rustic minimalism to create a feeling of art, nature, and simplicity. I feel like that is, from everything I've now researched on the look and really kind of been able to, you know, formulate my own thoughts on the look and like how to bring it together. That really is the perfect quote for this look because it really does have a sense of aesthetic to it that for somebody who's not a minimalist, this girl right here, I like this look. And I didn't think I would originally, but what I like about it is that it does have a lot of warmth to it and it has a lot of character to it. And I feel like that's where some people who maybe like a more decluttered look, who like the look of more minimalism, might not always gravitate towards that minimalist style because so often it has more of a cooler edge to it. It has more of a, it lacks warmth, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's where minimalism sometimes misses the mark with some people who love that aesthetic, but they want it to still feel homey and cozy, which is, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, that's why I don't like minimalism. I like to feel like my home is my sanctuary. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna like all of a sudden become a minimalist after this. I have minimalist tendencies. We have talked about it. Go watch the video where I talk about are you minimalist or a maximalist. But that being said, I do definitely resonate with the feeling of this look and I like it. I still like more stuff, but I like this look. And I think you guys are gonna really like how it all comes together. What I loved about it is that it's the fusion of form, function, and it still focuses on bright, clean, and open space as well. So it still has a lot of those typical minimalistic qualities to it, but in a very different aesthetic, which is what I think makes this look really, really spot on and why I see a lot of people gravitating towards this trend. Just a quick pause here. If you're enjoying the content of today's video, don't forget to drop down and give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, you know, well, whatnot. So thank you very much for that. So what are some of the elements of Japandi? So minimalist design aesthetic while still being super functional. Natural elements. This is really, really key to this look, is the use of natural elements in this look. So think of muted colors and a very natural color palette. So, you know, think of those vanillas and the creams and the light browns and those mossy greens. Lots of those colors that like you'll find in nature in a very soft and soothing color palette is what you'll typically find in this style. In this look, you're still going to see very minimal furniture. It's going to be very curated to the space. It's still going to be very intentional with design. And that is the focus. The focus is on intentional design with that minimalist, which I think with any minimalist look, you have to be extremely intentional with your design because you don't have a lot of stuff in the space, so every piece has to really function well. The difference with Japandi is the type of pieces that you're going to use to bring the look together. So something that really drew me into this design style was that it emphasizes sustainability. And I have talked about it on this channel and I continue to talk about it on this channel, but because there's such a strong focus with the Japandi look and the natural elements, it's not even a shock that sustainability is a really big factor when doing this look in your space. The simple design aesthetic of this look means that focusing on renewable resources like using bamboo in your space and very natural materials like cottons and jutes and wool, it goes with the aesthetic and it also serves that sustainable component where you're really looking at using more green and sustainable materials that have a longer life cycle within your space. We're talking about overall the fundamentals. How does the Japanese influence and the Scandinavian influence come together and actually make Japandi? So one of the things that you'll see that's typical with Scandi design is that sense of coziness and that sense of what they call higi. I did this in another video and I still can't remember how to say it. I'll put it up here. I'm sorry. And that concept, that philosophy is really brought into this look. So with minimalism, that's not always the sense, is to bring in that element into it. It's more about clean, whereas this one's still about warmth and coziness and still creating a very comfortable space. And that's something that's kind of, I think, atypical for a lot of the modern aesthetic, a lot of the minimalist aesthetic. So a part of this Scandinavian philosophy is that your home is your sanctuary and it is your place that you feel safe and secure and comfortable. And that's how you want to feel every time that you come home. So now we take the Scandinavian philosophy and we blend that with the Japanese philosophy of Wabi Sabi. I really hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. So Wabi Sabi is the Japanese term for worldview focused on recognizing and embracing the beauty and uniqueness of the unfinished, the imperfect, and the impermanent. This aesthetic and philosophical term has no English synonym, and we use it with respect for its roots and the knowledge that we ourselves are imperfect, unfinished, and impermanent. So why these two styles work really well together? Because they are both rooted in that minimalistic and comfortable design space. It's the combination of these styles that create a really easygoing, easy living, and sophisticated space, which I feel like is why I actually, once delving into this look, was like, oh, I get it, because this is a really comfortable feeling space. Like you do feel like you want to go there and curl up and read a good book, which I feel like generally minimalism doesn't give me that vibe, but the Japandi look really, really does, because they really do embrace those two philosophies, and they also really embrace that sense of comfort, coziness, while also being clean, open, bright space and on a minimalist design style. So how are you going to get this look? So you're really going to want to focus on natural materials such as bamboo and unfinished wood. I always think of, like, whenever I think of Scandinavian decor, I always think of that unfinished panel board, plywood, but like it's not like rough plywood. It's like, anyways, there'll be lots of pictures. You know what I mean. You want to use a muted color palette and then bring in some hints of green, and also don't forget that natural element, bringing in some of that biophilia into the space. Oh my God. A big tip with any minimalist look, really, not just this one, is reducing clutter. So it's not just about shoving things into places so you can't see it, although I feel like a lot of people probably do that. myself included, even as a maximalist. That being said, definitely trying to reduce your clutter is going to really help with this look, because it means that you can also reduce the amount of items that you have in the space to store said clutter. So it all kind of, is relative. You want to focus on clean lines and bright open spaces if possible. Of course, it all depends on where you live, but that is one of the elements that you see very common throughout this design style. Just a little side note, let's say you do have a very, busy household, children, family, all that kind of stuff, and you have lots of stuff. Some of the way that you can kind of faux minimalism, like if you like the look, but you just can't get rid of all that clutter, is think about containers and using baskets in certain ways. Furniture that has storage, like if you have a couch that actually has that flip, I feel like IKEA has that, but we actually have storage inside, or like an ottoman, something that has storage inside of it. So think about ways that you can keep a lot of that clutter contained within the minimalistic pieces that you have. So just as much as reducing clutter is, one of those minimalistic philosophies, it's not always realistic when you have a family. So I get that. So there are a lot of ways that you can still have a very minimalistic look while totally kind of faking it. Fake it till you make it, right? So to get the best of both styles, you want to focus on the coziness of Scandinavian design, warm textures, soft pieces, while maintaining that elegance in Japanese decor. You really want to aim for that Zen vibe as well. So one of the things with Japanese style is that it is focused on craftsmanship. So it's not really a space intended to be with fast furniture design. So I know I just mentioned IKEA because I am a practical person, and I realize that not everybody's going to be able to go out there and buy something super custom or high end, or a piece that's going to last a lifetime. I mean, that's just not realistic for every single person's situation. That being said, from a very authentic Japanese infused style, from everything I've researched, it is focused a lot on that craftsmanship. So really having pieces that will last the test of time, very much around that minimalistic philosophy where you will invest in an item that you will then carry kind of for generations basically. So the pieces that you're bringing in are a lot more timeless, because although it is a certain look and a certain style, it really still does bring in a lot of that sustainability where it's thinking long term. So that's one of those caveats with this look. There's a way to create the look that doesn't do that at all, through more inexpensive kind of fast furniture type items, but kind of to incorporate the real essence of this look, you are definitely looking at more timeless, long-term craftsman quality pieces. Stuff that focuses on long life cycles and definitely, being sustainable and doing our part. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely jump on over and check out my design trends video for 2022. It's a really exciting video looking at what we're gonna see throughout the next year, and I'm definitely gonna deep dive into some of those a little further, so look forward to those videos. And again, if you are interested in learning more about a specific style, comment below, let me know which one you want to hear about, and also if you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. All right guys, until next time, bye!